Hey, welcome everybody to another edition of Live in PDX. It's your guy J Mac, the host with the most. I'm really excited about this show. Shout out to Portland Livestream for making this happen, as well as Dozen Media. This show is going to be so, oh man, I can't wait. I can't wait. I'm glad you guys are tuning in. I'm going to be interviewing a couple of my good friends, one being Boddie. You guys see him on KOIN-TV every day, and I'm going to be chatting with him, as well as my internationally known saxophonist, musician friend, ex-label mate, Mr. Patrick Lamb is going to be here, and he's going to be bringing out a saxophone or two. So y'all stay tuned for that, and I can't wait to get it going, y'all. This Dozen Magazine International is now out as well, so make sure you guys email us to get a copy of that. You can see the links on our Live in PDX page. We got a lot of great things we're going to be doing with the show. We're going to be interviewing various entertainers, various celebrities, local and national. So really excited to bring Portland this particular show as we showcase some of our great people, our great businesses, as well as people that are behind the scenes making Portland what it is. So it's Live in PDX and we're here, baby. So make sure you don't go nowhere and check us out, all right? We're going to be coming right back in just a little bit with my guy, Boddie. So make sure you keep it locked right here because we are live in PDX.
Live in PDX brings you closer to the talent, artists, events, and businesses. Live in PDX supports and appreciates what all professions, individuals, and groups have to offer. We'll take you to the music, to the fashion, to the hot rods and sports, all the entertainment and food you can indulge yourself in, and more. So join us live in PDX.
Hey, right back at you. We're live in PDX. It's your guy J Mac, the host with the most. Shout out to all of our viewers out there worldwide. Right now, I'm joined by no other than Mr. Boddie. How you doing, man?
Doing all right.
Hey.
Loving being here.
Hey,
thanks
man.
for doing this, J Mac.
Hey, thank you for joining us, man. We live in beautiful PDX, and I'm glad you was able to make it today, man. I know you're a busy guy, and you're doing your news thing, and you've inspired me to want to take up journalism and do what we're doing today, and bringing some good entertainment, some good shows to the town. And I'm glad to have you as a guest because I wanted to ask you some questions as far as, because, when you're on the news, it's not about you, it's about the news, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
That you cover. But there's a lot that people may not know about you. So I would like to, maybe discuss some of those things with you today, man. First of all, how you been, man?
I'm doing well.
Well?
Career's going well. Things are going well with all the people out there and, behind the scenes as well as being out and doing festivals and emceeing concerts and things like that. So it's been a good summer, man. Coming out of COVID and everything.
Yeah.
We just had to make it work, and people are getting back out there and doing some things, and I want to be a part of it. I like to be in the mix, J Mac.
I know, man. You love music, you love dancing, and hey, man, I love the same, brother. I love the same.
Yeah.
Tell me this, Ken. What inspired you to want to get into journalism? Was it always like a childhood thing? Like with me, with music, I always wanted to do music since I was young. Was that something that you were inspired to be at a young age?
Not necessarily. I wanted to be a lawyer initially because I thought that was a good thing to be.
Okay, I can see that. I can see that.
But I went to school at Cornell University in New York.
Okay.
And my senior year in college, somebody said, "You have a nice voice. You should try radio." So I went to the campus radio station, WHCU, home of Cornell University.
Right on. Shout out to Cornell University.
There you go, Big Red. And I got a DJ shift initially, just playing jazz and gospel and things on the radio station.
I never knew that.
But I always had an interest in public affairs.
Okay.
So I started doing things on campus, doing little news stories, bringing those to the radio station.
Sure.
And I just caught the broadcasting bug. I decided, hey, I'm not going to law school now. I'm doing this.
Doing this.
So my initial start in broadcasting was in radio.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Wow.
So I was
you
a
do
radio,
got that voice, man. I can hear
the
that.
radio DJ.
So what was your
news.
handle? Did you have a handle?
It's always been my name, Ken Boddie.
Okay, DJ Ken Boddie. That's what's up, man.
Yeah,
That's cool.
always been my name and my handle. So I did that for a number of years. Started my own radio station. Started my own news operation at the radio station.
Oh, cool. Like talking about local news.
Talking about local news.
Oh, that's sweet.
So
man.
I actually did morning drive and afternoon drive as a newsman. And from 10 to 2, I had a DJ shift where I was actually spinning music.
That's what's up, man. Hey, living the dream, man. Now you also play some sports, right?
I was a pretty
Played a
good
little ball
basketball
back in
player when I was in high school.
You a tall brother too. I can see you out there putting some moves on and taking them to the hole.
Oh man, loved athletics. I was better in track and field. I was a field events guy. I was a long jumper and a triple jumper. That were my field events.
Yes.
Did a little bit of high jump too. But my love was on the basketball court.
What position did you play?
I had to play center.
Is that right?
On my high school basketball team. I'm 6'3".
Okay.
And I had to play center.
Okay.
But I played on a really good team with some guys who could get buckets, you know. So my job was to play defense, get rebounds, you know, kind of be the glue guy.
Right.
And because of my track and field background, I had hops, so I could jump. So I had to jump center.
Yeah. Okay.
You know,
getting your Dennis Rodman on, getting them boards and
right.
stuff, huh?
That was my role with the team. At one time, my high school team, it was Cardinal Mooney High School. I went to a Catholic high school.
Okay.
And my high school team was ranked number 5 in New York State.
Wow.
We had some guys that could play.
Now, that's a lot of high schools in New York State, so to be number 5, y'all must have been pretty good, bro.
Well, to be fair, New York City has its own rankings.
Okay.
You know, so
Sure.
we wasn't number 5 when you include the brothers that was in the city.
Okay.
But the whole rest of the state is ranked.
Ah.
And that was where our number 5 ranking came in. So went to the championship a couple times in our region and did pretty well, man. We had some guys who went on to play some big time college ball at colleges like, you know, St. Bonaventure, if you
Right.
heard of them.
Yeah.
So the high school basketball thing was fun. Then I came here. I still had that little basketball urge in me. So
Now, when did you come to
I
Portland?
came to Portland in 1982.
Okay.
And that was when...
What brought you to Portland?
Well, my folks have been here since the mid-'70s. They live in Gresham.
Is that right? Okay.
My stepdad, who has since passed on, but he was an engineer.
Okay.
Industrial engineer.
Wow.
And his specialty was air pollution control devices on big industrial plants. So he did what was Reynolds Aluminum in Troutdale, later became Alcoa.
Yeah.
And he did a Longview fiber plant up in the Kelso area. And he liked it, man. He was an outdoorsman. He golfed and, you know, fished and all the stuff
That's
they do
what's
out
up.
here. So when he came off the road, he moved here, bought the house in Gresham, and brought my mom and my younger sister out, who's 5 years younger.
Okay.
So I've been visiting Oregon off and on since the mid-'70s.
Got you.
I was still in college when I started visiting Oregon.
Now, when did you land your job at KOIN, Channel 6? When and how did that come about?
Well, I was working at Channel 12 at the time.
Right. I remember that.
My
your first gig was at Channel 12.
My first gig here in broadcasting was at Channel 12. Before it was Fox.
Right.
So it was Oregon's independent station back then.
Okay.
And I was a producer and ended up working my way up to be a City Hall reporter and weekend anchor there. That caught the attention of the folks at Channel 6. And they're like, we need you over here. You need to come over here. So I submitted a tape, and 2 weeks later, I was working at Channel 6.
Wow.
And I've been there ever since. I was hired there as a producer, so I was producing other people's shows.
Prior to being an anchor?
Yes. So
okay.
Went from being a producer to being a reporter, on the street reporter,
yes,
to being an anchor.
Wow. Let me ask you this. Now, we don't have a lot of African-American anchors right now in the town. You know, I remember growing up watching Dick Bogle.
Yes.
You know, he was like, you know, we used to be happy to see a person of color. As black kids growing up in the hood, it was cool to see a black man on television every single day.
Right.
You know, when you go through your day to day, even though you get a lot of props from people and a lot of praise from like myself and people that know you, our friends, they always salute you like, hey, Ken is a swell guy. Are there any haters that you've ever had to deal with along the lines doing
definitely.
what you do?
And I don't think you could be a black man in the state of Oregon without going through that.
Say that,
a black man in America and
Period.
not go through that.
Right.
But there have been a number of times over the years where, I've been called an N-word out on stories. I've had people
Out on stories?
Yeah. This has happened several times over the course of my career.
Wow.
And no reason behind it, just a hater, and this has happened throughout my entire career, but never to the point until recently where I felt like I was threatened or that, it was just a irritation or inconvenience more so than a threat.
Okay, what happened?
But most recently, in October of last year,
Okay.
I got a letter in the mail, hate mail, that was just so toxic. It was a death threat. It was the N-word throughout all of it. You need to be hung, all of this. And it wasn't the first, but it was the worst.
Wow. So how did you?
Well, I responded to it and wrote something on the internet, and you could probably find it if you look for it. Ken Boddie reacts to racist letter. And just the way I responded to it, that story actually just won an Emmy.
Are you serious?
For how I responded to that letter.
Wow. So tell the people out here live in PDX where they could find that at, man.
Yeah.
I would like to check that out myself as well.
Yeah, just do a Google search for Ken Boddie reacts to racist letter. And you'll get the whole background on that.
Wow.
But I posted it, and the thing that really gave me a lot of satisfaction was the reaction I got, the positive reaction I got from people who were appalled that somebody would send me something like that. And just the support that I ended up getting in the community behind making that public really made me feel good.
Wow. Like I said, you got a lot of love, man, not just in Portland, but probably back home as well, and to some of the aspiring people out there like myself, what good advice could you give up and coming journalists, anchor folks and whatnot,
Stay the course.
Stay the course.
That would be my major advice. I mean, if you feel in your heart that you want to do something, this is not just for journalism, but for anything that you want to do. If you feel it, do it and pursue it.
That's what's up.
Because there have been a lot of people and a lot of times even in my own life where you felt, oh, maybe this is as far as I can go, or I can't break into this, But hey, just be true to yourself and be true to your talent.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up.
And it's going to work out.
I appreciate that advice, man. Because like I said, I've watched you for years, and I've seen you cover stories in the storm.
Yeah, man. Them Troutdale truck stop stories
man,
when you have ice storms and you're out there. Yeah,
they got my brother out there in the rain and the wind blowing, and you like, whoo. But hey, that comes with the territory, though, right?
That's paying your dues too. Now I get to sit in a comfortable studio. I get to wear a nice little suit. Put makeup on and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But it's something that wasn't given to me. I had to earn that.
Yeah, to work for it. That's what's up. So there you go, people out there in TV land. Make sure you grind hard, work hard, and like you said, stay the course. Stay the course, man, because it gets difficult at times when you're striving for your dreams and you run into some pitfalls and you got haters in your ear and whatnot, and you start to question, like you said, because I've done it, with music and we were one of the first people that broke out in hip hop in Portland, you know what I mean? As far as
You Crew.
Yeah. Shout out to my crew out there. You Crew for life, baby. But yeah, I just remember the dedication we had, pushing our shopping carts with the equipment to practice. People laughing at us like, man, ain't no rappers making it out of here. What do you? Y'all need to go to LA to make it, or you got to go to New York to make it. You know what I mean? But we stayed the course on that. So I can testify to that. It works when you do stick to it and stay the course.
Well, the thing about it, you mentioned, pushing a shopping cart and people saying you're not going to make it here. When I was actually a DJ back in New York, we played a group out of Portland called Pleasure.
Okay.
You remember
Pleasure? Yes. Glide,
yeah.
Shout out to Pleasure, Marlon McClain.
That's right.
Nate Phillips.
Yeah. Bruce Smith, Bruce Carter.
Michael Hepburn.
Yeah, man. And Dennis Springer. And man, we loved them back then. We played a lot of Pleasure.
Yeah.
Then when I moved here and I found out that they were from here, I discovered they got more love in New York than they were getting here.
That's crazy how that works, man. It was almost the same with us. You know, we didn't get a lot of love until we came back from our first tour. And the videos was playing on BET and MTV and stuff. So people was like, oh, I know them people. I know them.
Right.
So, you know, I took a lot of pride in knowing that we helped motivate a lot of other artists to feel that they could do it as well, coming out of a big small town like Portland, but there was really no outlets. I mean, at that time, we didn't even have clubs to perform in.
Right.
You know, they were like, nah, we're not letting no hip hop people come up in here. You know what I'm saying? And we had to actually perform at rock bars, like grunge bars and heavy metal bars, where they would have open mic night. We would go in there and we would party with them. They loved our music. And so we formed a cool camaraderie with the whole music population. And then my good friend that I'm gonna be talking to in just a little bit, Patrick Lamb and I were label mates. We were on the same record label for a while, and he just motivated me because he was from the South. So it was like, yo, man, it's cool to be on the label with you, bro.
Mississippi.
Mississippi. So I'm excited to chat with him, man, and been excited to chat with you too, man. Good to see you, bro.
Yeah, good to see you, always.
Yeah, you like the view?
This view is unbelievable. Now, we can't really tell you where we are because we don't want everybody coming up here. But it's nice.
Yeah.
So that's all I'm going to say about that.
Oh, man. Well, check this out, man. I got word a little bit ago that you had got an award a while back, so we want to show a little video about that, that accomplishment of yours, man.
All right.
Y'all stay tuned. We're going to go to the video.
Ken Boddie is standing along Interstate 5 right now.
Back in the early 80s, both Ken and I started our careers here in Portland at about the same time.
Ken Boddie has been following the story.
He came from the East Coast and just really dove into the Portland scene.
Handsome looking guy back then. Ken had the mustache going, he had a lot more hair.
Well, Ken was like all new reporters, he was finding his way.
And the votes are being counted right now.
He wanted to be as good as he could be.
Ken truly cares about what he's putting out there.
In the future, the program will be expanded to other schools.
He really cares about the facts, and he really cares about getting it right.
Ken Boddie is a reporter. And by that, I mean he has been to the scene of some very sobering news stories over his career.
This rising river is just lapping at parking lots right now on the east side.
The viewer trusts Ken, and they believe him. They know he won't lie to them. They know he has had these experiences, and therefore they give him their trust.
That answer will surely not satisfy Push Executive Director Tyrone Kreider.
Ken is not only a great local journalist, he is really a great member of this community.
I knight you, Kenneth Jerome Boddie, under the Rose Royal Welcome.
The Royal Rosarians knighted him because he was this unifier. He was this person who stood out and was able to bring other people together. Just as a reporter, he would do that.
Whether it's helping Albertina Kerr Center that is near and dear to his heart, Ken is always there.
And is super involved in so many various charities, whether it be for underprivileged youth or music. Everyone knows Ken is a huge jazz and blues guy.
The Waterfront Blues Festival, I just hung out with Ken for a day back last year and followed him around, and it was legitimately like I was a groupie for a rock star.
he was like the mayor of that event.
Ken can dance. He's a good dancer. Yeah. Right?
Even though the weight limit will only be in effect a few days.
As journalists, we're often measured by the great stories we did. I think a better measurement is, what did you give back to your local community? No one is higher on that list than Ken Boddie. He not only gave back to this community, he is part of this community and always will be. And that's something to be admired as he's accepted into the Silver Circle.
Ken Boddie's induction into the Silver Circle recognizes his lifetime of achievement in the profession of television journalism. Well done, Ken Boddie.
I'm Ken Boddie, reporting for Newsroom 6.
Yeah, that was the
Congratulations, man.
Thank you very much. That was the video that was done in 2017 for the Silver Circle Award, which is an award that the Emmy organization gives out to people who've been in the business for 25 years or more.
Wow.
So, yeah.
You had a little afro popping,
Oh, man, I had afro, I had hair, mustache. Look a little different now than I did back then. But that gives you kind of a picture of my career. I think that one of the things I really appreciate about that is that I think there was some video of me getting a Royal Rosarian Award.
Yeah, I haven't really seen too many brothers be knighted as a Royal Rosarian, you know what I mean? How did that feel?
That felt amazing because it felt as though I was really accepted by the community here and brought into the community. In fact, your next guest, Patrick Lamb, and I were inducted the same year. We were both knighted the same year.
What?
Yeah, I have some pictures of us together
that.
at the knighting ceremony.
Oh, that's dope, man.
Yeah.
One of the things I liked about that clip, man, is that your co-workers and whatnot just, gave you mad props, man. How important is that to have that type of camaraderie at your workspace? I've worked various jobs where it wasn't always like that, where everybody just like looked up to your work ethics, and not just that, but you as a person, you know what I mean? And that's what I love about it. It's like they love you as a person. Same with me, you know what I mean? You've been my friend for years, but aside from the work, all those people that commented on that tape right there, I could tell love you as a person. How does that feel, man?
That's very gratifying because, again, it's acceptance and acknowledgement.
Sure.
Because we put in the work because we love what we do.
Right.
We don't really do it for the recognition part of it.
Right.
But when the recognition comes, it's a good feeling.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up, Ken. Anything you want to share with people? Because you got a show yourself, man. Tell us a little bit about your show.
Well, what I do, I'm the early morning anchor on KOIN-TV. So,
right.
My alarm goes off at 2:30 in the morning.
Okay.
I'm in the studio by 3:30, and my show goes on from 4:30 until 9 in the morning.
I'll be seeing you on them early mornings.
Yeah, you got to get up early to catch me,
Yeah.
But I also do what we call a franchise story weekly, which is called Where We Live.
That's what, I've caught that a couple times, man. Tell us how that all came about.
Well, I started it about 5 years ago during a time when a lot of people were moving here, and didn't know a whole lot about Oregon. So I started doing stories about Oregon history, culture, people, interesting people. And it just became something that I enjoyed delving into, and it continued to this day. So that's something that I do because I still have those reporting chops, and I like history as well.
Right.
So I try to look for those stories that have some history to give people background of
that
what
they
this
may
place
not
is all
know.
about. Right. And then try to relate it to how it got to where we are today.
That's cool.
So
man.
I try to take that past connection and bring it to the present and maybe project a little bit into the future.
Right on, man. Speaking of the future, our world has went through a lot these past, I would say the past like 5 years, with that element that, that I had never seen before as long as I've been alive, well, actually, I was young in the 60s during the civil rights movement and stuff like that. So that's kind of like, was my first taste of it back then. But to see somewhat of the divide in our world, it's kind of upsetting to me because I know that children watch the news, and as a parent myself, I have my kids asking me questions. Like, what's going on with the world, Dad? What's happening with the world? What is your perspective on the future of our world from all the stories that you've covered? And where do you see us going, and what are your hopes, I should say, for our world?
Well, I would start off with our country, number one.
Okay.
And I think that there was just a study that came out, the census data came out, talking about the demographics of the United States of America.
Right.
More of America is looking like us now.
Oh yeah.
And it's been trending that way for a while. So I think that what we're seeing in our country now is a backlash to that. Whereas, we have to admit that there are some people who don't like that trend.
Yeah.
And will resist it.
Yeah.
By any means necessary.
Yes.
So we're in a cultural battle right now. We're in a battle of culture. And I think that, we just have to acknowledge it. And in terms of your children, when they see what's happening on television, just like my parents, I'm a little older than you. So I was maybe 10, 11, when Martin Luther King Jr. was killed. So
you probably remember that
vividly.
Yeah.
Because I remember the reaction of my parents to it. More so than anything else. I was old enough to comprehend the gravity of it.
Sure.
But not the depth of it. And I think we're entering into a period now where those same kind of dynamics are in play. So you got to talk to your kids, man.
Yeah.
Because that's the real.
You know what, you're right about that, because one of the things that I share with people, especially some of the haters that I've ran into of other, racists and whatnot, and I share with them because I've had comments about me because I like to go fishing. I go out into the woods. I go out to places that some of my people won't even go. Like, J-Mac, are you where?
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, I'm out in the woods, man. I'm out in Hefner, Oregon. About to go catch some crappies. You know what I mean? They're like, man, I'm not going out there. I'm not going out there, And I've had some people make comments and stuff like that. And when they do, I always ask them, I say, were your parents like you? And they'll kind of look. I said, did you hear those words from your parents? Did they teach you that? And I had one guy say, yeah, my mom used to use the N-word a lot, and I heard it all the time growing up, and I didn't know why. I said, well, all I'm gonna ask you, I'm not even gonna ask you for an apology because you just didn't know any better.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? What I'm gonna ask you is not to pass that down to your children.
Yes.
Because kids are born innocent. They're not knowing racism. They're not knowing any, type of stuff that their parents put in their heads. You know what I mean? So I said, until we stop putting that stuff in their heads, our world is going to continue to produce haters. You got to stop the hate and replace it with love. That's something I've told them on many occasions.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I look at it like this. You'll see a flock of dogs hanging out together, running through a park, all playing and stuff like that. And it's brown dog, black dog, yellow dog, polka dot dog, and they kicking it. They're not like, hey, that dog can't play with us because he got spots, or that dog is brown, or that dog is black. They don't see it,
Right.
And we need to be more like in sync with one another because we got more in common than we got differences, I believe.
Absolutely. I mean, when you look at the DNA makeup, and I don't want to get too deep here, but
get deep, man. We live in PDX. Get deep, man.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at the DNA makeup of a human being, your skin color is a very small percentage of all of that, man.
Right.
I mean, it's very small in terms of what your melanin is. So,
right.
It's irrelevant. So
you're right about that.
So racism is a cultural, it's a social construct. It's not even a real thing. Race isn't even a real thing, you know?
Yeah, it's like.
but it's an easy way to divide people because it's visual.
Right.
So.
And then the propaganda that gets put out there, you know what I mean? It's like people don't know what to believe sometimes, but I believe in greeting and meeting people and treating others the way I want to be treated, the same way my mother and father and grandparents and aunts and uncles taught me, you know what I mean? Then another thing, you know, I was actually talking to some of my musician friends about it. It's like, hey, we need to put together like a modern day We Are the World, because you're looking at, you know, the situation in Afghanistan right now, you know, and it's like, these are human beings, you know, and it's like, I look at the world like a gigantic household of everybody. And if something's happening in my brother's room, we got to go help. You know what I mean? It's just unfortunate, you know. But I think with this project that I'm gonna be working on, bringing the music, you know, together, because music is like a universal language, you know.
It really is.
You know what I mean? When you go to music events all the time, man. The festivals, the jazz club. I know you're big on jazz, and when we go to those spots, it's a little bit of everybody, man, you know?
Yeah, and it's the music that brings you together, no
Right.
doubt about it. I love music, man. You know, I don't play an instrument. I did dabble when I was younger.
What did you play? What did you work around with?
Oh, man, I messed around. I actually played the clarinet for a little while.
Me too.
Yeah.
Back in 6th grade.
Yeah, played the clarinet, and then I got with a little band and played a little bass guitar. You know?
Is that right?
Yeah.
That's cool.
I like the bass.
We have to bring those pictures out on our next interview with you, man.
Yeah, man.
Ken on the bass, y'all, getting funky with it.
Then I decided I wanted to be a jock. You know, I got involved in basketball and track and field at that point and kind of left the music behind, but always had the music in my heart, which is why I go to so many music events. And, you know, a lot of my best friends are musicians.
You're right. There you go.
I just love the talent, the creativity. You know, somebody who can take an instrument and make it live, man.
Yeah,
it's really impressive to me.
And they tell a story with their instruments. You know, that's why I'm really excited. I told Patrick yesterday, we were talking, I said, man, you know, when we do the show tomorrow, you have to bring the sax out. He's like, I got you, J-Mac,
Oh, you know it. Yeah, it's right over there somewhere.
Yeah, it's over there hanging up. Yeah, man, I can't wait. I'm looking forward to it, man. I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you taking your time out of your schedule to come and be a part of this show. You know what I mean? We trying to, you know, give Portland some insight on people that they may not have insight on.
Sure.
You know, and I appreciate you sharing your story, and we're gonna continue to support you through all of your endeavors. And you know, for people that may not know, tell them where they can see your show at, what days it comes on.
Well, I'm the weekday anchor on Channel 6, KOIN-TV, every morning from 4:30 a.m. to 7 on KOIN, and then from 7 to 9, I do a show called AM Extra, and that's on the CW, on Portland CW.
Okay. Make sure y'all tune in and check it out, and make sure y'all Google his response so you can check that out to the hate letter. You know what I mean? That's dope that you got that, man. That, you know what I mean? That you handle it so professionally and whatnot. Hopefully that person can learn from your words and become a better person themselves. You know what I mean? 'Cause sometimes people just don't know no better, but we got to teach them a little bit better. You feel me? And I appreciate what you did, man. You know,
that was the goal. That was the goal.
That was the goal. Well, man, I think we're gonna pause for the cause a little bit, man, and get ready to chop it up with my guy Patrick Lamb.
Can't wait.
I'm gonna
stick around for that one.
Yeah. Hey, big ups to everybody viewing us right now. We are live in PDX. I'm your host, J Mac, sitting here with no other than my good friend Ken Boddie.
All right.
Pleasure having you, man.
Yeah, pleasure being
Thanks
here.
for joining us, brother. And continued success, man. And thank you for all that you do.
Thank you. All right.
When it comes to your kitchen, you deserve the best in luxury and performance. Whether your style is traditional, contemporary, or professional, Standard TV and Appliance has it all, including top premium brands like Wolf, Sub-Zero, Decor, Thermador, Miele, Bertazzoni, Heston, Monogram, Fisher & Paykel, Jen Air, and more. Check out our live kitchens and try before you buy at the largest locally owned appliance retailer, Standard TV and Appliance. Best service, best selection, best people.
Enjoy Eastern Oregon's premier resort destination. At Wild Horse Resort and Casino, discover Vegas-style gaming, championship golf, a family funplex, and more. And right now, it's the $80,000 Moneyball Mania. Winners every 30 minutes, Fridays through Sundays. Draw 6 red balls and win $10,000 cash. 2 grand prize winners win up to $20,000 each September 12th. It's all happening at Wild Horse Resort and Casino in Pendleton.
Lately I'm going crazy, don't know what to say, don't like the sound of my own voice. Maybe love's overrated, I'm tired and jaded, my heart is leaving me no choice, leaving me no choice. Where did we go wrong? How do I move on? And the God, I don't know where I belong. How can you slam the door to this dream we had? I said I wanted more, I guess you had other plans. Finally I found where I belong. But lately, I'm clueless as to why you're gone. Staring up at the ceiling, there's no use sleeping. I know you'll be there in my dreams. You'd think that's a good feeling, it's sending me reeling. I keep on trying to believe. Can't you see? Where did we go wrong? How do I move on? And the God, I don't belong. How can you slam the door to this dream we had? I said I wanted more, I guess you had other plans. Finally I found where I belong. But lately, I'm clueless as to why you're gone.
Hey, right back at you, loved ones. The music you just heard was no other than my good friend, Mr. Patrick Lamb, internationally known saxophonist, and he's joining me right now, and I'm so excited to talk to him. Make sure y'all call a friend, tell them to tune in to Live in PDX. You know, check us out, all right? Got my guy right here with me, Mr. Patrick Lamb. What's up,
thanks.
Patrick?
How you doing?
Man,
good to see you.
Good to see you too, man.
Thanks for being here. Thanks for being putting the show together. You guys have always had a vision with bringing people together here in Portland, and it's hard to follow that last act, Ken Boddie, a long time friend. So
hey, you know, Ken gave us some good history, man. I mean, things that I didn't know.
You guys are so good at it, though. You know, you make it look easy. And I've always said you should have your own national show.
Man,
you got the charisma, you got the good looks, you got the you're well spoken, and
thank you, brother.
But you know what I really like to think about when I think about you and Ken is just really all the good that we've done together. You know, when you think about the aggregate of all the different events, I mean, from Jimmy Mac's to the Governor's Ball to Vanport Jazz Festival, which I helped put together the production for starting up. Together, we've really done a lot of good together, and when you look back at your life, that's something that's most important to me.
You know, I was telling my good friend that the other day. He said, "Man, what do you want to do, J Mac? You know, you've done so many different things, from music, now you're doing TV stuff and whatnot." I said, "Man,
because not everybody knows that you're a rapper and a song,
a
songwriter,
which is cool.
You got to check it. Where can people check out your stuff? You know, where can people check out your music?"
I just put a new.
I'm not gonna let you get away.
He's turning into an interview. He interviewing me now, y'all. Patrick is interviewing me now, man. It's all about you today, man. But you can go to YouTube and go JAYMACK. Good Game is my latest single that's out there, and it's a very positive song. It's a good song to play with the whole family in the car.
He's always got game.
You know. But this game that I'm talking about in this song is bits and pieces of knowledge that all my ancestors gave me. Some that are no longer here and some that are still here that encourage me, that give me great advice. Because they've been through stuff that, you know, as a kid, you know, you hear mom saying, don't do this, don't do that. Not knowing like, dang, mom or dad might have went through this.
I like what you and Ken were talking about. You're talking about what you're taught as a kid. You know, what are you teaching your kids? Are you teaching them love? Are you teaching them hate? Are you teaching them the fear of people? Or are you teaching them, hey, you know, we need to work together on certain things?
Exactly, man.
Everything that we can.
Sounds like a new We Are the World compilation. We're going to have to have you on that, man. We're going to have to break our own form of it, you know.
I was just playing golf with Pee Wee, Harlem Globetrotters. You know? And so he has a song with Leah Harrison and the Brown sisters. And it's funny that you should say that, because literally yesterday I was on the golf course and we were talking about this song that the Brown sisters have. So they're going to shoot a video soon. Anyway.
I'm looking forward to hearing that.
It popped up. So anyway.
Hey, man, you've been doing a lot of great things too, man. Let's talk about you a little bit. You know, tell us what inspired you to become a sax player. What got you into music? Was it something you've always wanted to do?
Well, no, I was, let's see, I'm the son of a school teacher who moved us around probably 20 times before we came up here. And you know, we lived in...
Because you're originally from Mississippi, right?
Yeah, I'm originally from Jackson, Mississippi. Was where I was born, but we lived in Raymond, Mississippi, Cleveland, Mississippi, Ball, Mississippi, Mendenhall, Mississippi, Austin, Texas.
You had the whole Mississippi tour going, huh?
Georgia. Anyway, about 13 places. We moved up here, and I really was the most awkward, unsociable kid you could possibly imagine. So, because I was always the guy who was enrolling in school late. My parents were always like kind of, you know, cut my hair and just, you know. So I was always trying to learn how to get to know people. And so I didn't really learn anything about that until after I got introduced to music. We came up here, I enrolled in beginning band, and that was the one thing I knew how to do instantly.
Really?
And so it really
You just had like a natural gift with music? Or?
You know, it was just something I knew how to do, and became apparent that it was just something I loved. It was the only thing I loved to do at the time, and so it kind of took the place of all my mismanaged social skills, which I didn't have. And then music made it way for me. You know, as time went on, it's taken me around the world many times, and you know, it's just made me a beautiful place, and
there you go.
Changed my life in a way that I can't describe. So I give that all to God, because He's always had a plan for me.
Yeah,
for sure,
and like Ken Boddie said a minute ago, you stayed the course. You know what I mean? You stayed the course, because I didn't stay the course with the clarinet.
I hate the clarinet.
I didn't stay the course with the clarinet, but I did stay the course with other things.
You can't get girls with the clarinet anyway, so you know, forget about it.
Yeah, the saxophone. I will say, like, I grew up with all females, right? And
sisters, a bunch of
sisters,
like
cousins,
How many?
aunts. Out of my family, it was growing up in my generation. It was like 2 guys and maybe 16 girls.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Cousins, sisters included. But all of them say, you know what? I love the sound of the sax. You know, it's like their favorite instrument. You know what I mean?
That's a good one.
My sister loved the sax. My cousins love the sax. My mom loves the sax, you know. And a couple of my uncles, you know, they like, man, there's nothing like a good sax player, man, you know. And what inspired you to pick that up as your instrument?
Well, when I enrolled in band with Mr. Ernst, who actually taught Chris Boddie too. We had the same beginning band teacher. He's about 10 years older than me, but he, like I said, I enrolled late, so everybody was already playing drums, and the kids choose the loud instruments. You know, so they chose drums,
usually popular.
trumpet.
Right.
There's like 9 trumpet players and 10 drummers, and so I was in a situation where I came like the 3rd day of class, and he was like, "I'm sorry, this is all taken on." He got out a book, and then we just literally went through a book of pictures, and then I saw the saxophone. Yeah, and I saw the saxophone. I was like, "Wow, that looks pretty."
It looks pretty.
and so that's you know, I picked it up, and he gave me some beginning band books, and I went through that, and then I thought it was pretty good, and then my dad brought me a book called the Charlie Parker Omni Book. He said, "You think you're pretty good, huh, son? Here, play this." You know, so I started working on Charlie Parker.
Wow.
And then, that just one thing led to another, and then I got my first tour with Diane Shure after a 2nd Grammy, and then Bobby Caldwell, and then Gino Vanelli.
Wait, you said after the 2nd Grammy?
Yeah, she's won a couple of Grammys, so I stared playing with her.
Right. Okay, got you.
So yeah, so it's just been a whirlwind. I've been touring and playing ever since, you know, pretty much.
Yeah, I've seen you tear up some stages, man. From, like you were mentioning, the New Year's Eve celebration that Ken was hosting to
Governor's Ball. I've been very lucky to work with Ken.
Ball. Oh man,
for 10. This will be the 11th year. This year, I believe. If that's right.
We got to bring that back, man. We got to bring that back.
It's going to happen. It's going to happen. We have something special this year for you.
So where are you playing at now?
I mean, it's been nonstop. So this week we've had events every single week. So we've had Grant County Fair. A couple of days we did Lake Oswego Hot August Nights. It's just a big party on the lake. A friend of mine owns a beautiful, you know, huge spread on the lake. They put up a line array.
You still got my number, right?
Yeah.
Man, I didn't get no invite. Well, put me on the VIP list for the next one.
You're always a VIP. So we got that.
I'm just messing with you, man.
Always.
I just watched you play last night at the golf tournament.
So we had Dunn's Duffers last night at the golf tournament.
Yeah, that was really cool.
We had, we do a lot of private stuff. So we just had a client rent out the entire Cowlitz County fairground, and they built a beach. They brought in 20
a beach?
Semi-loads of sand from the beach. They dug a pool, and they set up like this Sheryl Crow's line array behind us. They had the night before, and then we played for this part. Literally, they created a beach at the fairground. They tore it down the next day. So so that was cool. We're going to. What are we doing tomorrow? We're playing a big festival out in Medford tomorrow.
Okay.
And then what else is going on?
Medford is a fun town. Back in my band days, we used to tour down there, and we were always kind of like, man, this is like kind of like.
Oh yeah,
maybe
and then we've got Kaiser.
We didn't know until we got there and got the good warm reception. You know, like wow, this is a nice. They love music. They love music down in Medford.
We've been going out there playing music on the half shell. We played country club out there at their parties. You know, so for whatever reason we've been going out there pretty regularly. It's a little bit of a drive, but it's beautiful and we dig it. So tomorrow, I'm trying to think of the name of it. I just did an interview about it.
Well, I'm gonna tell everybody out there watching to, friend you on Facebook, follow you on Instagram, so they'll, be abreast of where you're at and stuff like that.
Oh, Kaiser Amphitheater.
Kaiser
the
Amphitheater.
4th, the 28th Robin Hood Festival.
Okay.
September 11th, I have a thing with Tommy Thayer and Danny Seraphin it's sort of a, I'm not sure what they're calling it yet, but I think it's a benefit for the Military Museum. And some stuff with Gino Vanelli. It's just nonstop. So check it out. Check out the schedule if you're interested at patricklamb.com.
Check it out. Mm-hmm. Hey, one of the places that I love to see you at that's no longer here was, of course, Jimmy Mac's.
Mm-hmm. How many shows did we do? I mean, it's countless.
Man, countless,
right?
man. Countless.
20th anniversary. We had Tower of Power.
It was always sold out.
Yeah, Tower of Power. I put together. I mean, I co-founded a ticket company called Ticket Tomato.
Right.
And I did over 50 million before my ex got the company. Mm-hmm. So it's all good. It's pretty public knowledge.
All good. You did well.
And so, but we did ticketing there for, I don't know, 15 years, something like that.
I went through you guys on some of my events, Ticket Tomato. Yeah.
So it's still a great company. Check it out.
Yeah, no doubt.
But we did Tower of Power. We had David Pack I put together. We had Jeff Lorber brought out many times.
Okay, yeah. Shout out to Jeff Lorber.
Tribute to Stevie Wonder. Tribute to Ray Charles. We just, I can't even remember all of the different ones that we put together.
Yeah, you guys used to do it. Speaking of which, speaking of Jimmy Mac's, we're going to show an old interview that we did of you back in the Jimmy Mac days.
Do I look like a ruffian?
No, you look cool, man. It was a chill night, a great party. Hey, we're going to go to that, ladies and gentlemen. Don't go nowhere. You're live in PDX with your guy, J Mac, and Mr. Patrick Lamb. Stay right there and check out this clip.
You are now listening to one of the baddest guys on the saxophone. Patrick Lamb, y'all. Woo! Hey, give it up for Patrick Lamb, hey.
Hi, baby.
Hey, Patrick.
That's what chance.
Hey, y'all just rocked it, man. Jimmy Mac's 20th year anniversary. How good does it feel to be privileged to rock it like that, man, on a night like this, man? A sold out house.
It really is a privilege because I've known Jimmy for 20 years, and he really kind of gave me my start. And he's really kept a great club and a great cultural center for jazz here in the city, and I'm grateful to be a part of it.
That's what's up. Ladies, can I get y'all to do me a big, big favor?
Yeah.
Can y'all blow Jimmy Mac a big kiss? 1, 2, Jimmy Mac, we love you. Thank you for the years you done gave the town. Beautiful artists such as my great friend Patrick Lamb and many artists that have blessed your stages when you had the Jimmy Macs across the street to the Jimmy Macs that you got now. We would love to see you do it for 20 more years, Jimmy. Right. Don't give up, man.
That's right.
If you got to pass the torch. We'll pick it up and run with it. You can put your feet up and go fishing, Jimmy. We need Jimmy Macs to stay around, brother.
That's right.
One love, y'all. Hey, I salute you, Patrick Lamb. And hey, look, man, if people want to get a hold of you and check you out on your tours, on your travels, purchase your music, how can they do so, man?
You can go to patricklamb.com. I'm going to Europe and Australia. And then we've got, of course, the Governor's Ball.
You're going to Australia, mate?
Mm-hmm. We're going to be in 12 dates in Australia and 10 in Europe. coming up.
What?
I just got back from Rome and Caserta.
I saw the pictures, man. Hey,
it was hard.
I'm about to hide out in this dude's luggage, y'all. You're gonna see me at PDX, scrunched up, hiding in Patrick Lamb's luggage. It's your guy J Mac, Dozen Magazine in the building. Shout out to Hanna, shout out to my guy Raj, y'all. See you next time. Swag it out, women, baby. Shout out to the band, Patrick Lamb. Swag it out, Pat. Ain't nothing sexier than a saxophone, y'all. I don't know. What y'all think?
Hey, good times, right?
I was just saying I didn't realize we're still on even when we're not on. But J Mac and I could talk for hours. J Mac's just easy to talk to. He should have his own show. Go big. Hey. I do want your head to blow up a little bit, so you can. If not now, then when?
I'm gonna hire this guy to be my PR guy. You hired, Patrick. You hired.
You're just a natural.
Thank
It's fun.
you, brother.
I was saying we could talk for 2 or 3 hours. Or,
man,
what are we gonna talk about next? Like my first jobs when I got here.
I want to know about your wildest on stage experience ever. All musicians got those, so I want to know about your wildest.
I mean, I'm a jazz guy. I'm not like AC/DC.
I know.
You're not talking about Bon Jovi.
But we all could have crazy fans.
The wildest jazz guy.
But you're an energetic guy, man. Just like when we just played the video. I mean,
I do my best. That's all
grooving,
I can do,
you're moving, you bring it. You know what I mean? You bring it, bro.
I do my best. Yeah. So
What was your greatest show? What was one of those places out of the many around the world that you've done? What's that one place that?
I couldn't. There's so many.
All right. What's your top three? Give me your top three.
Well, Smokey Robinson, playing with him.
Wow.
Playing with.
Where was that at?
In Chicago, they had a big thing. Everybody was singing along. And he. Well, a little side story. So my first gig with him, I was a little nervous. I met the band. I met with Demetrios Pappas. He gave me all the material, and I learned it. I learned it as perfectly, as I can. You sing. They got you on a platform. Anyway, I did the gig. Everything went great, and then afterwards, Demetrios called me. He said, "Hey, Patrick, I got somebody who wants to talk to you." I said, "Really?" I said, "Okay." So I get on the phone. He's like, "Hey, this is Smokey. Hey, man."
Oh, he called you personally?
I just want to tell you did a great job, man.
Wow.
And I forever remember that because it's just what a classy. I mean, he didn't have to really talk to me, but just a really appreciative, a good person. He was very.
You do a good Smokey Robinson impersonation. Do that again.
My voice is changing as I get a little older. I'm sounding a little more like Smokey.
Thanks, Smokey. Yeah, he got that Kool-Aid. Yeah. Shout out to Smokey, man.
Such a gentleman. But I just remember, like everybody, knew every word of every song, and the whole place was singing. You can see it. You can see it on my YouTube channel.
Okay.
PatrickLamb.com/YouTube, million hits. So that was one. I mean, there's been so many. Playing the Kennedy Center with Diane Shure.
The Kennedy Center?
Yeah, big shows in Europe with Gino Vanelli.
Okay, yeah.
And so I managed the horns the last 12 years in every city we go. And so I put together the charts, and then I rehearsed the group before each show.
Yes.
So I remember one time we were in Mexico, and none of them spoke English. So you're trying to rehearse the band, right?
So none of the musicians.
But I know a little crappy Spanish. I took 4 years of it, so I had to rehearse the band in Spanish.
Right.
That was a memorable.
Uno, dos, tres, go.
It was. That was a lot of fun. Play with Bobby Caldwell. We go to Japan and play 27 shows.
That's dope. Man.
Everything is sold out, and Bobby had me playing strings and then singing falsetto with Jeannie, who sang backgrounds. He's like, "I like your voice," and everybody I've toured with is like my voice. I have never pushed it on anybody. They've been like, "I like it," it's different.
Yeah.
Like, my voice is not. It's just.
Hey,
it's,
you was doing your thing yesterday too out at the golf course when you performed out there, man. And
you gotta give people what they want.
You did some Michael Jackson on them, man.
Whatever,
I was like, what?
Yeah. So, but I remember playing, 27 shows with Boddie playing. He's like, on this tour, I want you to play all the strings on Jamaica. I'm like, what? You want me to? So I remember, and my philosophy has always been, if they ask you, you can do it. Just say yes, and then practice your ass off until you can. So, I could play a little piano.
Yeah.
But I went back and I practiced for like a month, and sing, with it. So I learned Bobby's show. That was great. Shout out to Bobby. Bobby's has some health issues going on right now.
Shout out to Bobby. We're gonna keep him in our prayers, man.
It was a real privilege to play with him, and there's always been people that have faith in you when nobody else does. So Bobby was one of those people. He took me on and kind of gave me some opportunities, stretched me out with the singing and pretty much everything. So yeah. Bobby Caldwell. Geez, playing with Alice Cooper, Tommy Thayer, Danny Sarah from Chicago. Let's see, Robbie Krieger from The Doors. I've done a few hits with his band. It's just, there's so many.
Yeah, man.
And they're all unique, and I just love it. So
how does it feel to have like a conglomerate of like international fans? Back in my days, we hit a couple different countries, but you've been like, how does that feel, man, to get love from the world? You know what I mean?
It's really what you dream of and hope for. I think if, at least for me, if you have to boil it down to what you really want, and you need to do that in life. You need to figure, what is it you want it,
Right.
Like you, for example,
where do you find your joy?
You want to be an international, host of a TV show. But for me, for most musicians, I think if they really sit down and think about it, you want to, and not all of them. Some jazz people just want to play, at the house. And,
yeah.
But most people want to connect with other human beings through this universal thing called music.
Universal language,
and
baby.
So that's truly. I try to stay out of the politics. And if you ever seen Dolly Parton, it's not because I'm a coward, but it's because it's so dividing right now. What I choose to do is to do good in any possible way that I can, and insofar as I'm able to do it, then I'll leave all the politics to because whatever you focus on becomes greater. So there's so much crap out there right now. Yeah. If you sit down every day and watch
on the crap,
news,
you're gonna be caught up in it.
You're gonna feel you have the spirit of the doo-doo like for 6 weeks. You're not gonna be able to get out of bed. Yeah. So for me, for whatever reason, I've always been able to. I shouldn't say always, but I've learned to
kind of avoid those situations and focus on your music.
Focus on what you can, and on the positivity, and hopefully that'll make a way for you.
That's what's up, man. Well, I'm excited to show the people some more of your music. You know what I mean? If that's okay with you,
please.
Can we go on?
And welcome out to my pad.
Yeah. Thank you, man, for having us.
Joan actually built it. She's a real Jedi with style and engineering, and she's done a lot of properties. So
this is
props
beautiful,
to her.
man. I love the view, man. It's just like beautiful.
It's pretty nice, huh? You would think we might be in the Alps somewhere.
They think it's an airbrush backdrop.
It's a green screen. It's not.
Not a green screen, right?
All right, we roll into the music video.
Yeah, let's check out the video, y'all. Mr. Patrick Lamb, y'all check it out. We live in PDX. Man, that was groovy, bro. That was groovy.
Like that?
We getting some good feedback from that too, man. Some good feedback.
Are our mics back on?
Our mics are on, bro.
Are we on?
We live.
Okay.
We live in
It is
PDX.
live. It's really live.
Someone just hit us up and said, "Hey, that's one of my favorite songs, man." What inspired that
Awesome.
song, Pat?
Let's see, Limitless. So that was I wrote that with Darren Ron, he's just an absolutely outstanding producer. He's probably produced like 30 hits for some of my compatriots, people, in the music business, and just a real God-fearing man. And so we just got together, wrote the song. Cool,
Cool,
how we do.
man. When musicians get together, the magic just happens sometimes, man. That's what's up. Hey, so tell me about your new endeavor that you got going on, your studio broadcast situation, man. What's that all about?
Well, it's interesting because we had a studio live at 7 that we were doing on a regular basis, but now things have been kicking into live shows every day. So I haven't even been home in order to do it. So we haven't. Now we're doing this. We're taking it up a level.
Taking it up.
Now you guys are here, Ken Boddie.
Yeah, I remember you were doing a lot during COVID when everybody was at home, and you just you would. Like, hey, tune in. I'm still bring my music, even though the clubs were closed. And I thought that was so cool, man.
It sort of becomes your window to the world. It's like becomes your only during COVID. But now there's been shows every single day.
Okay.
So it's I haven't been doing that as much, but I have been doing some recording. I have a new single called Malibu Drive, which
was that the one you played for me a while back? When was in your studio?
First people to hear it.
Hey, I like that Malibu
cool.
Drive,
Malibu
man.
Drive,
That's one that you could really put in and really take a drive to Malibu.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
Face value.
It takes you there, you know. Even if you just gotta
driving.
imagine it, you just gotta close your eyes and like I'm driving to Malibu because the music tells you that. The music gives you that feel, man.
Yeah.
So that's your single that's out currently?
It's out right now. So all
Tell
you
them how to
listeners,
get
please,
it. Tell them how to get it right now, man. They watching.
Please go and listen, go to all different formats to iTunes and Spotify. Start your Patrick Lamb Pandora channel. Listen in and download it. It's a groove. I really like it. And,
I like it too, man. I like it too. Speaking of your studio, man, you got a nice studio back there, bro.
Thank you.
We got to collab on something, man.
Yes, sir.
Is it? You're an old school artist like I am. Where we used to have to. Go in and pay for studio time. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Now with the benefits of modern day technology, it's pretty cool to just wake up in bed like, man, I can't sleep. You know what? I'm gonna go to the studio.
Yeah.
And it's right in the next room.
Sometimes some of your best stuff can come from that. Because everybody's different. You don't know how your brain. Like me, I'm not a morning person like Ken. Ken's up at 2:30. I'm going to bed at 2:30. I know you're going to bed at 2:30.
I'm a late nighter, yeah.
And but it's great to have a situation where when something grabs you, and you learn to just snag it and go in and put it down, and then at least get something started. Plant the seed.
Sure,
and then because you could go back and revisit it. And,
no doubt.
So I've always got different ideas going, and I just had Reinhard Meltz over to the studio and. Working on a new with George Colligan. We have a song. I have several different singles that are already finished for the next coming year.
You're gonna keep them coming, man. You're gonna keep them coming.
Well, you got to keep it rolling. And
I love it.
If it's what you do, it's what you do, right?
Right.
Put that into action.
Yeah. Hey, who inspired you, Patrick, to because we all got our favorite artists from each. Like I'm a hip hop guy, so I got favorite hip hop guys that I like. That inspired me to want to be a hip hop artist myself. Who plays the sax that inspired you?
Crusaders, Wilton Felder.
You called it right off back, huh? He's like, no doubt about it.
Wilton Felder for Crusaders has he has all the chops and the ability and the jazz, that just can play anything, but he's just got the soulful tone that nobody sounded like him.
Speaking of soul, do you get a lot of your soul from your Southern roots, man? You know what I'm saying? Because you just got a swag about yourself that's so soulful. I mean, I hear it in your music and I see it in your videos. I see it on when you playing your horn. You just go to a different zone, man. And one of my favorite quotes was from Maya Angelou. She wasn't even speaking about music, but it still can pertain to music. She said, "I feel what comes from the heart reaches the heart. You know, every time I hear you play, it's like it's from your soul, man. It's in there. You know what I mean? Yeah, no doubt.
Takes one to know one, but you know, in the vernacular, energy never bullshits, right? So
There you go.
people can tell just so much more than you ever that you ever give them credit for. That's one thing I know about an audience, and when they can feel your love or your lack of it.
I've seen those shows too, where some of the musicians, and this is my next question coming up, but I've seen musicians where they didn't even, let's say, acknowledge the audience. You know, they come, they play, they jam, they sound great, but they never like have any type of interaction with the audience. How important is that for you to have that interaction with your audience? You'll break it down, you'll talk to the crowd, you'll go into the crowd, you know?
Oh, sure.
How important is that to bring your audience closer to your show?
Well, the first thing to realize is that if you're in this business, your audience is that's who you work for. You work for yourself, but I mean, there's this idea that art and commerce are completely separate, you know. And for some people, you know, if you're Esperanza Spalding, you can wake up and just be Esperanza. She's so incredible. And for me, I have to figure out a place that between where the art and then the commerce come together, kind of in the two circles, you know, meet.
Right,
if that makes any sense. It's a real practical thing.
I was telling my buddy the other day, one of the most important things to us, you know, when we were on tour back in the days, is like signing autographs.
Yeah.
As a kid, I won't name the names, but I got rejected for an autograph for someone that I looked up to. You know, as a young up and coming artist, they're like, man, like, and I was like, so.
Well, you just got to realize that the people are what you know. They give you a life in this business.
Like
If you don't know that, you're just not having a real practical sense about the heart or the commerce.
Yeah,
you know,
there you go. Speaking of commerce, it's like,
and
you know,
they can work together, contrary to popular belief.
Because the fans, you know, without your support from your fans, you won't be successful. You know, you can have a cool musical hobby, but if you're really trying to do it for the commerce, you have to show your fans appreciation.
You have to connect. You know, you have to connect on a personal level with people in your audience, because you of anybody know it, that when you do that, they never forget it. They
never forget it.
I don't care, you know, 20, 10, 5 years from now, they will always remember at that time.
That you took a little time to give your fans some love.
He did that interview with me. Thank you.
You're welcome, man. So now what I want you to do in return, I want you to give your fans that are listening worldwide right now, I want you to give your fans a little bit, you know, you got it out there, man. So,
well, you know, it's funny,
I've been looking at it the whole time, like, man, I hope you go play a little something, man. So why don't you bless us, man, with
I don't know how it sounds. Man. I don't know how the mics are hooked up or whatever.
You good, man.
But
you good.
I'll just bebop a little bit.
Bebop a little bit, man. I want to get into it. Shout out to everybody watching. We live in PDX.
Thanks for tuning in and here at our home and the studio with these great people. And I hope we can do some more shows live again soon. We need a new Jimmy Max. I think you know, I just talked with a good friend of mine who's putting that all together. So I think that's going to come.
You're going to do a reunion?
Reality. Hopefully. We'll see what happens.
Man, I'm looking forward to that.
Anyway,
ladies and gentlemen, we're live in PDX.
All right, there you go. Thanks for coming out, everybody.
Shout out to all the fans. We hanging out, man. We gonna get Ken Boddie back over here, talk to Ken a little bit more, then we gonna say peace out to everybody. So for the people that are watching that may want to purchase some of your music and stuff like that, man.
Oh yeah, they want to stretch it out. Let's stretch it out. No problem. We got this.
Yeah,
no
tell them where they can get your music at, man. You know.
Have we talked about your music and all? I gotta ask you some questions.
Yeah, I'm doing some writing. I'm working on an album right now called My Deepest Thoughts.
Okay.
And I just released
rap-centric.
Rapalicious. It's conscious mind. It's a conscious mind album because throughout the years
like
I rapped a little bit about everything. You know
that bass player, Ocello. What's her name? She's got a song called that, something about the conscious mind. She raps on.
Something positive, man.
Anyway, I digress. You were saying.
Hey, our buddy's back.
Hey,
oh my God!
What's up,
man. This thing was wrapping up, so I figured I'd come and say goodbye to everybody.
How come you're sitting on the stool? You're so much taller than me anyway. As if I wasn't short enough.
Oh man, that's just the way it is, man. As they say, it is what it is.
It is what it is.
You're big in stature. There's no doubt about it.
Thanks for being here and being part of the show, you guys. Yeah. So what else are we talking about? What do we want to talk about?
Well, man, shoot, I'm interested in the world opening back up and getting this live music scene back on so we can get back to some good times. That's what I'm really looking for.
Do you think that's going to happen? Do you think we're going to? You think this is going to stay open? Does it look like it's going to close down? It's kind of like this, right? It's like a chair. It's like
people realize
you're trying to sit down.
Go back to the boomerang.
Yeah.
We don't want to.
Doesn't that feel like that? It's like musical chairs. Sit down. Hey, you ready to go? No.
To where we were before. So I think people are taking this serious.
Yeah, I think so too. I think so too, man. What do you look forward to, Patrick, moving forward on things?
The more than anything, this has just taught me to focus on the good and shut out the negative.
There you go.
Because otherwise, you can't get out of bed. There's so much crazy stuff going on. Every day I wake up, I can't believe what my eyes see. Other humans are doing to other human beings, and so it just
being in the news for me, man. I mean, I have to separate that from how I view my entire life. That's just a snapshot. What I report, but the rest of life, man, is beautiful. So we have to keep that balance in mind. We have to understand. Yeah, there's bad things happening out there, but there's a lot of good stuff.
There's a lot of good. There's a lot of good stuff. I've been so blessed lately, even in all this darkness. It's weird. It's like I think there's such a contrast. It's like right, but it's all right here in front of you.
You're right.
And it's like you have to be really careful, leaning to the left, left too far.
And me, I choose to stay around positive people.
Right, keep it positive.
And I pray for those that are dealing with stuff that want to bring you into that negative field. I got friends that like to talk about politics. I got friends that like to talk about this and that. But when it's like that negative vibe, I'm like, hey, bro, we just got to pray for them, man. We just got to keep them in our prayers. And, I try to switch the subject and stay, like you said, on that positive vibe, man. You know what I mean? On that real positive vibe. Well, hey, I want to thank y'all for joining us today, man. It's been real cool hanging out with y'all. And
it's a beautiful thing. I
get some insight on y'all that the people out there may not even know about. You know what I'm saying?
In fact, we should do this again sometime.
We'll run it back. I would love to run it back. I would love to run it back. You know what I mean?
just want to encourage everybody to do what they can. I know the world is so overwhelming right now. It's just insane, right? So I just want to encourage everybody to do what you can in your own little way, like whatever that is to you. Like I talk to myself that way. I'm like, look, when you get a little confused, like things are just crazy, just focus on.
You talk to yourself too?
Yeah, all the time.
Okay, I'm not the only one. I'm like, Jay, you gotta breathe. You just gotta breathe. My sister always says that. Jay, just breathe.
Yeah.
So when I'm not around my sister and I'm going through things, I remember her words.
Yeah.
Just breathe, bro.
That's right.
Just breathe it through.
Or Maya Angelou said, she said, I think it was her. Somebody said it great, but it's just like, what's the next great thing? What's the next good thing that you can do? Sometimes it's confusing, so it's just focus on the next good, positive thing. Pick it out and just give it your whole heart. That's it. And then start rocking.
Absolutely.
I love that.
Absolutely, and stay true to yourself, man. Don't think that your dreams are invalid. You know, your dreams are valid.
Very
and don't
valid.
feel alone either, because I think a lot of this thing is so isolating. This thing, like, people are stuck at home, you know, and you're stuck behind a mask, and you're stuck, you know, and there's this tendency where people can feel super isolated. You can feel like the only lonely, like, whatever you're going through. Everybody's going through something. That's
it could cause you to spin into a phase of depression. You know what I mean? But you know, like you said, don't feel like you're alone. We love you out there in the world.
That's
you
right.
know, we're praying for you. We're praying for a better world.
Yeah.
And
as you say, to quote somebody, a great one love.
One love, one love. A great Bob Marley.
Who did the song That's What Friends Are For?
Dionne Warwick.
Dionne Warwick.
You know,
that's right.
reach out.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid to reach out.
That's what's up. Because we all in this thing together.
Yeah.
You know, when it's all said and done, we all brothers and sisters, just different shades.
That's
You
right.
know?
That's true.
You know, I like to hear what people's favorite sayings are. You know, so one of mine is just, and I wear this out. It's like, do the best that you can with what you've got when you've got it. You know, I don't know. It sounds. I think maybe I made that up, but basically, people are waiting don't wait for the planets to line up, because they're not going to line up. You know, the perfect situation is not going to come. Things are not going to. There's not going to be perfect. Time to get moving. So whatever it is, make sure it's a positive direction. Pick that side, and then go there.
I got one for you, and this is something that my grandfather told me when I was a kid, because I used to get frustrated trying to get money for school clothes or whatnot. And my grandfather said, hey, punch that clock every day. You may not get your check that day, but you didn't put in the work to get the benefits of it down the road. So every day, punch that clock.
That's
You know
right,
what
and the
I mean?
self-respect that comes with that, right?
Yeah.
Because I was just thinking of the first jobs I did when I came to Oregon.
What were your
I was
first jobs?
14. So my first job was picking strawberries.
Get out of here.
At 4:30 in the morning, I got up and I got on a bus and I picked strawberries. I dug ditches. I put in tiles in Intel buildings. I cleaned roofs. I had a job for a while where I'd drive my motorcycle out to pick up a truck, and then I would take the truck out, and then I would put rappelling equipment on, right? And then I would put, the first thing you got to do is you got to get the thing secured so you can climb up, and I specialized in really tall homes, shake roofs. So
you weren't scared of heights, huh?
So
Me too, man.
So then you would do it. So you do it like in lines. So I come down and you pressure wash like this. And then when you're first learning, you got to be careful not to blow yourself off the roof, because you only do. This company only did roofs that were like 30 feet tall and higher. Okay.
Wow.
So like the third time I was like hanging by the gutter, I was like, that's not for me. So here's a little bit of trivia. I learned how to make and deliver 3 pizzas in 45 minutes by my own.
What?
I think, me. Yeah, I could do it.
So next time we hit it up, we're going to have some pizza next time we hook up.
You get the roll, you put it like this. And you spin it.
You know how to do all of that?
You got to get them all in the oven, right?
Okay, we're gonna do some kitchen work next time. We're going to be doing Cooking with Patrick.
Anyway,
I'm not very a pizza conference where they make people do stuff like that.
It's fun, man. Have you ever made a pizza like actually made the crust?
I've never made a pizza in my life.
Yeah. Well, you can do it, man. I'll tell you what. If I can do it, anybody can do it. So first you do the edges, and then you spin it. You push it out.
You talk about jobs that we've done. I actually worked in an automobile plant. In my hometown of Rochester, New York, they had 2 GM plants. One made Delco batteries. The other made carburetors for cars.
Oh. Wow.
Yeah, for GM cars. And I worked there. That was called Rochester Products. And that was what convinced me that I did not want to do a factory job the rest of my life. The money was great, but this was my action. I took a carburetor casting off the line, put it in a drill press machine, punched the holes in the carburetor casting so they could be connected further on down the line,
So you were just like a button pushing yes man. You're a button pushing. That's what I am. I'm a button pushing yes man.
Wow. Hey, that's deep.
For a while, I worked in catering for a while. You know, serving.
Doesn't that teach you though?
Same here.
Doesn't that teach you to really appreciate? For me, like when I finally got some opportunities, and it was a long time. You know, I was so grateful. Like I remember I was parking cars at the Marriott, and one of my first gigs.
I was waiting tables at the Marriott.
Yeah.
You were downstairs when I was upstairs?
I was parking the cars.
That was one of my first jobs, was waiting on tables and spilling ice water on people. I was kind of clumsy and like learning how to balance those big food trays. I was like, man, I didn't have those type of skills. So
I'm still amazed that people can do that.
Yeah, I got good at it after a while.
Walking around like that. I mean,
they'll be taking like a 10-piece table and like stacking it all up and taking it off. They're like, I want to get this in one trip. I want to get this out. Yeah. So
shout out to all the waiters out there, and all the waitresses, all the servers, wait staff, all the musicians. You know what I'm saying?
But I remember. So one of my jobs was parking at the Marriott. That's actually how I met Tom Grant. Was one of my first gigs where I actually flew to go play play somewhere. And I met him. I was handing him a tape. You know, he came through because he would go through the Marriott and then take a bus to the airport or something. You know, and so I just carried it with me. I was like, hey, can you give it a listen? And then he called me and I ended up playing with him.
Wow, that's what's up, man. Shout out to Tom Grant, man. Hey, and shout out to everybody watching. We really appreciate the support. We're live in PDX. We're going to be bringing you these shows more frequently, and we're glad that you guys are commenting. Big ups to everybody that's commenting and chiming in.
Share that video.
You know what I mean? Big ups, share it. Let them know we
share
live.
That video.
And if you got some show suggestions, go ahead and leave in your comments.
Write
us
some questions.
Some musicians or people that you think we should feature or interview and chat with, that got some interesting things to share with PDX, let us know. You know what I mean? Because we're here, y'all, and I appreciate my guests today, Mr. Boddie, Mr. Patrick Lamb, two of my great friends, and thank y'all for hanging out live in PDX.
Thank you, man.
Thank you, man. Thank you, man. Big ups, y'all. Big ups.
Awesome.
Y'all tune in again. We're gonna kick back. Pat, why don't you go on and play us out a little something? Go on and wet your whistle, brother. Go on and wet your whistle then.
All right.
Go on and wet your whistle.
Cheers, everybody. And
hey,
hope
cheers,
to see you again.
Cheers.
Yep. You don't have to.
You already drank yours.
He drank two while we were interviewing. So.
All right, we got some catching up to do.
All right, you guys.
Ladies and gentlemen, big ups to Mr. Boddie. And Mr. Patrick Lamb is going to play us out tonight.
I am? Okay.
Yeah, play us out now, baby.
I didn't even know I was going to play. I have no idea how this sounds over there, but I just like to make up some stuff. So
make up some stuff. He going to freestyle.
All right, you guys. See you next time.
Thank you guys for tuning in.
Later.
Hey, we'll catch you guys next time on Live in PDX. It's your guy, J Mac. Thank you guys for tuning in worldwide. We appreciate you. We love you. And you guys are all in our prayers. Peace and blessings. Bye.